And we are live. Welcome back to the Manor Entropians. Julian McBain here. And we're back on the migration hunt. I don't think that they moved the mobs this week for some reason. So we're going to pop out to where we have been hunting. So as always, before we get started, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Also, please consider going to patreon.com/JulianMcBain if you want to support my work. If you do, you'll get copies of The Modern Entropian and Personal Finance for Gamer for becoming members. Big shout out to my patrons, Game Citizen, Jason Lambert, and Red Kryptonite. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, so we're off to do more migration. Hopefully Ludius will be with us, and we'll get another 5 global live stream. That was the last one. That was amazing. Just see what is going on. Before I went, okay, good. They are the same ones. Should probably turn off Cali Trade. I was actually looking to sell some of those summer strong boxes the other night, and no success. But that's okay. Whoops! Let's not explode fire. No, not the damned chicken. Lost my train of thought there. Oh, I was in Twin Peaks Carney barking to get rid of some of my strong boxes, but no one was interested, which is fine. I'm not surprised. Usually boxes, I think, do better after the event is over, because currently the market's flooded with them. But there are still people who want the ring, and I know that the summer ring has been hit a few times. It's a really good one too. It's got like an 8% lifesteal. Damn, I really hope to pull. If I keep keying boxes, I hope to run into that. Hey, Red Devil, yeah. I've been trying to do a minimum of 1,000 kill points per day. I think yesterday was the first day in a couple of weeks where I managed to... Big long tooth I'm facing versus Berry Cled I'm not, and you choose the Berry Cled. Thank you, Mind Arc. You know what? We'll do this. Hey Kat, thank you for joining me. So yeah, that's why Cali Trade was in my main window. But no, migration's going well. Everything's actually proceeding really nicely. I do want to take a few minutes, though, since it's the beginning of the stream, and let everyone know that on Thursday at 6 p.m. I will be live on Facebook on the Aired Out podcast, which you can find on Facebook at Aired Out, AIREDOUT. At 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I will not be talking Entropia Universe. But, if you're interested in seeing another side of me, go check it out. My buddy JD Green runs the podcast. He was a local radio personality. Great guy. So I'm really looking forward to the conversation. And who knows, maybe I'll manage to work Entropia Universe into it. But we'll be talking local issues. So, okay. This is something I actually talked about the other day on my video, but I want to bring it up here. Team Monria. Team Monria with a huge step. Merging with Toulon and taking over responsibility for development. That's just awesome. and I know I went through most of this the other day, so I'm not going to rehash it too much, at least not the core content, but I did want to start the conversation. If anyone in chat has paid attention to that whole thing, and what you thought about what the Monria-Toulon merger is going to look like, what you think is going to come about with it. I think this is going to be great. I'm going to spend some time on Toulon here. I don't know exactly when, but it'll be within the next 6 months, so maybe I'll do the beginning of the year on Toulon next year. Now, I spent 3 months on Monria. You know, I have no problem spending time on Toulon if it's the Monria team running it, because I do think the Toulon team tried. I'm not going to take that away from them. But I think they had a whole bunch of really good ideas. They just couldn't get executed the way they wanted to. The Monria team has a lot of experience in community building, which is necessary. Like the Toulon team has graphics design, the system engineering, they have all of that down cold. They just couldn't get a community together. Monria is better at building communities than any other Planet partner in Entropia universe. I think they're going to nail it. I agree, Red Devil. I absolutely agree. You know, I've said it before and I'll say it again. A lot of the Planet partners are a whole bunch of unrealized potential. Some are more active than others. Next Island has just kicked it up. They've like, I don't know what happened. I know they got a new development team like a year and a half or 2 years ago, but it seemed like it was all of a sudden they just pushed the throttles all the way in. And the fuel mixture and just bore out, and they've been just hammering on ancient Greece. And it might be because they know that there are some other real cash economy games starting to come out, so that, you know, maybe they've decided that they need to kick it up a notch. But I'm happy. I'm impressed. You know, when I visited Toulon, I was just, I mean, like, I really wish they had allowed vehicles back then. They do now. The NAWA radiation's gone, but back then it was still under NAWA radiation, which meant you couldn't use vehicles. And the fact that I couldn't use vehicles was my one disappointment, and I didn't know about the no vehicle rule. Otherwise, I would have purchased a teleporter chip to be able to bounce around. Because I would have been fine if I had a teleport chip. I mean, yeah, it's going to cost you a little extra, but hey, whatever, right? I would have been fine if I had a teleport chip. Didn't know about it. And unfortunately, it's an hour flight between Calypso and Toulon, just about. I think it was 48 minutes. Because think about it, this is space. This is Calypso, and that's Toulon. No, that's Cyrene, I'm sorry. This is Calypso. And that's the Toulon station. That's a whole lot of distance. And, so I went there, I stayed there for 2 weeks, and I left because it was just, the distance was too great, and I wasn't as into it as other planets. I think that now things are going to get a lot better, and Toulon's really going to ramp up. Now, I want to reiterate some of the things that Toulon did really well. Oh, one of the devs was in Bonnie's stream. So they got a lot of things coming as well as connecting with the war. Yes, I did see that, and that was actually in the press release that DME put out. I don't know if DME actually put out the release, but she's the one that reposted it. DME, or Dark Moon Enigma, of course, is Cyrene's community manager, and she's very good at her job. And I'm not just saying that because I know she watches my vids, but she is very good at her job, and I think she has a really good read on the community. And I think that's one of the reasons that Monria has been so successful, is that they've had such a good community manager. And she used to be the community manager for, I think she was the community manager. She used to work for the Cyrene team. And they've benefited from her. And so I think that Toulon is also going to benefit from that weight behind it. Hey, it's Scotty! Yeah, it's a long trip from Ark. It is. I mean, all of the outlying planets, it's a longer... Cyrene's close to Calypso, so that's not so bad. Monria's close. Rocktropia is not bad for the trip. Keep in mind, I've never actually explored Rocktropia, which I know at this point I'm going to have to change that, because it's the one planet I really haven't spent any time on. And Rocktropia has Hell and King Kong. But yeah, no, some of those longer space flights, bring a book. In-flight movie. Like, I'll literally... There have been days I've set up for a longer flight, like when I think I was actually flying to Next Island. I set up for the flight, I set on course, and I walked away from my computer. And did like 2 or 3 chores, just around, housework. Came back, I still had a 10-minute flight left. I mean, they weren't big chores. They were just, like, garbage and shit like that. Normal stuff that you have to do around the house. But... yeah, the lootable PvP is kind of an annoyance, but... after Mindark expanded the exclusionary zone, the non-lootable PvP area, that really reduced the piracy significantly. Another thing is that there are smuggler routes. There are most definitely smuggler routes that pirates don't frequent because they're out of the way. Few players really know how to do it, but relative to the total population. But there are smuggling routes. I have successfully smuggled loot back to Calypso. It's nerve-wracking, to say the least. But I have done it. And, I mean, usually when I'm off-world, I'll often just TT the majority of my stuff, and I know that's not good for the local economies. I should invest the ped in, like, Cyrene when I'm on Cyrene to dump mats onto the Cyrene auction house. Even though the likelihood of them selling is low, it will encourage people to look at the Cyrene auction house or the Monria auction house or the Toulon auction house, because those planets don't have an economy because no one's selling things there, because everyone thinks they have no economy because no one's selling things there. See how that works? It's a self-perpetuating problem. Yeah, smuggler routes. You absolutely can smuggle stuff across the Entropia universe lootable space area. You just have to know how to avoid the pirates. Which is not always easy. Because pirates are not dumb. But they also go for maximum efficiency. If you're on the main route, you're far more likely to run into another player than if you're off on some oddball, weird angled route where only players with experience and space are going to go, and there's a chance that those same players are going to shoot back. It's not as cost effective to a pirate if they're being shot, if the person they're firing at is firing back at them. And one of the things I've considered doing, although I've never been able to put it together, is putting a secondary gun on my ship, going up there with a friend, and go pirate hunting, because I think that would be awesome. And they don't expect you to have a co-pilot with a gun. They expect if you're taxiing someone, that person's not going to be firing back. But I do think that if I could go, if I could go up there with a buddy, with a secondary, the turret weapon on the quad wing, and you've got the main Kismet laser, that would be awesome. Thanks, JB. Yeah, I'm still dealing with some audio problems. I thought it had gotten better. I've switched around the port I plugged it into, which solved the crackling problem from what I understand. I'm going to quickly test it, so hang on. maybe. Yeah, I'm still dealing with some audio problems. I thought it had gotten better. Okay, so yeah, it's not perfect, and I apologize for that. I don't know what's wrong with my mic. At this point, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, I've updated every driver. I downloaded a whole new version of OBS. But in my McBain moments, it doesn't seem to have an effect. So, I don't know if it's the OBS software. Maybe I need to find a new streaming software. If you've got suggestions, I'm up for it. Yeah, those pirates are professionals at what they do. They absolutely are. I know some teams of pirates have actually gone after motherships. Like, no joke. And the mothership guns are no joke to be dodging around. You know, when the gun costs a ped to fire one shot, you know it's going to have a lot of power behind it. Okay, that's good to know, Scotty. On the advice of Kat, I'm turning my mic down. Tell me if that's better. Yeah, the mic is currently sitting about 18 inches from my mouth, so about 20-25 centimeters. So I just turned it down a bit. This new version of OBS also has some interesting settings, so tell me if that's better. God, I hope the mic isn't beginning to fail. It's the Blue Yeti, and I've had it for like a year. I don't want my mic to die already. I mean, I know that mics have decay, just like computers have decay, just like everything has decay, but I really don't want to have to take that trip to Best Buy. Replace my mic already. I was hoping it would last a couple of years at least. Okay, good. Thank you, Kat. Okay, update on my Aired Out podcast appearance. It's apparently going to happen on Tuesday. I just got a message from JD. So, if I'm late to my Tuesday stream, y'all know why. So Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. That would be, I believe that's because we're 5 hours behind. 2300 GMT. What is it? UDT is that the server time? There, 2100 server time. I can't brain. Hey, Whispers. Resolving mic troubles, talking about the appearance on the Aired Out podcast next Tuesday. You know, normal stuff. We haven't brought up food yet, so. But no, we were also talking about the Monria-Toulon merger. And then smuggling things through space. Hey, Jay. I know the pirates are really good. I think that's something I really have neglected is my my space combat skills. And part of it's because most of the combat happens in lootable PvP, but I think the training areas, or like this area here, the Skyfall Nesting Grounds, I think this is non-lootable now. And I will check that. Because I would love to do either a video or a live stream, because I used to do it in the Gordon's Belt, because pirates aren't going to go out of their way to go to the Gordon's Belt to hunt one person who might have gotten a global in the Gordon's Belt. Right? It's just not worth it to them. But if I can do it in a place that's not lootable, then it's worth it to me to do. The only thing being is that because my captain skill is so low, I need to practice. And fighting in space is no joke. Like, you can't just hop out of your vehicle and repair it, right? You gotta go back to a station. So oftentimes it's like you're in, you kill 3 or 4 mobs, you go back, you repair your vehicle, rinse and repeat. It's not very interesting for a video, so I'd have to come up with something to roll with it if I'm going to record that, or I need to practice a lot, get my captain's skill up to make it worthwhile. Yeah, Whispers. Smuggling from Cyrene, you just have to know the routes. Or I should say you have to determine the routes. Because no one's going to tell you the routes, because then pirates might lay on the most common routes. But what I would do is I would leave all your stuff on Cyrene. Try out a couple of different pathways to and from Calypso to Cyrene and back. And when you discover one where you consistently don't get shot down, go back to Cyrene. Use that route. If you're going to take the risk, use that route to take the risk. And truth be told, some of those routes, you're safer being in lootable PvP longer than taking the short route across lootable PvP, because that's where pirates hang out. Like, no joke. I have had safer trips hanging out in lootable PvP than I have trying to cross the gap between a non-lootable PvPs, because the pirates are looking for people trying to make the fast gap. I think that a person with a high enough captain skill, if you display that skill, some of the pirates would just leave you alone because they know you know what you're doing. And I think with time, that's something that I would like to build up to. But I'm so focused on what I've been doing on the ground. On the ground. I haven't taken the time to do that. And fighting in space is expensive. Like, let's take a look at my quad wing as I'm fighting Longtooth. Let's pull up the quad wing. And view information. Pop that. Okay, quad wing's good. The fuel consumption is not terrible. Not great, but it's not terrible. Let's look at the Kismet laser. Okay. The laser uses 4,010 ammo per shot. Alright. That's 40 pec. Because, you know, 529,000 is 5294. Which means 1,000 is 10 pec. That's 40 pec. 40 Project Entropia cents. That means you're going through 1 ped every 2.5 shots, or every 5 shots is 2 ped. Now you're going to get a good chunk of that back in Shroud, right? Not going to deny that for a second. But it does mean you're going to have a lot of waste to start out, especially if your looter skill isn't where it needs to be for that mob. And those sky flails are no joke. They're like level 67. That's one of the things I'm working on, is working on my looter skills, because I know that I'll have better luck with the sky flails the higher my looter skills are. I think they're classified as animals. I'm hoping they're classified as animals, because that would give me my best option. But like anything you do in EU, you're going to burn ped while you're learning the skill initially. It takes time. And that's just, it's a lot of investment for shorter time. Which I'm willing to do when I have the extra dosh, but I don't have the extra dosh. So, recently, like this year, Mindark actually expanded. I think it was the first version update of the year. They expanded a zone around the planets that were non-lootable. So you've got the no PvP zone, right? And that's immediately around the space stations. And I think they originally did it because of Crystal Palace and Foma. These two places here. Which, you know, players go there. Pirates used to hang out between Crystal Palace and Foma and try to shoot players down on their way to them, which pissed a lot of people off. I mean, that like really hurt those areas, and Mindark benefits from those areas. Can I please have my sword back? So they expanded. I think the exclusionary zone, like it's like this big now. It's large because this is the Monria space station here, I believe. Yeah. The amount of time it takes me to span not lootable PvP between Calypso and Monria is less than 10 minutes. That's how big the zones are now. Now, in that less than 10 minutes, there are going to be, especially the route between Calypso and Monria. I know that Sloth hangs out there, a couple of other pirates hang out there. You know, it's a thing. So you just gotta be wary. If you come at it, and you know what, I'm gonna expose one of my secrets here. I probably shouldn't, but if you go straight from Calypso to Monria, you're gonna run into pirates about here, right? If you angle out and come in at an odd angle, or if you pop out, go for one planet and then change course to another, or if you use your verticals, so you vertical way up or way down, and then vertical or then horizontal straight across and then vertical down when you get there, you're much less likely to run into pirates. Because they're not looking for that, they're looking for the easy kill. Now that I've said that, pirates are going to be looking for it, but it's not, because so few people do it, it's not very common for them to look. And you know, to be honest, if I wasn't so close to finishing this iron mission, if I thought I wasn't going to make it, I'd say screw it and go up into space now just to demonstrate. Not that that would be overly entertaining, because you're just kind of staring at my exhaust ports the entire time. Although I find ways to make it worthwhile, like going and hunting skyflails. Global! Oh ho ho! We got a nice weapon out of that. It's not full TT, but that was very, very nice. I'll actually end up using that weapon because that helps my short blades, which helps with the damage skills. Thank you, Mindark. Thank you very, very much. How many ped was that global? I didn't even check. Wait a second, I just had it. Here it is. 99 ped. Thank you, Mindark. First global of the evening. CJ, you're mostly right. You do have to spend money to make money. On the other hand, instead of spending money, you can be investing money to make money. That's why we have deeds and shares. I love deeds and shares. I buy deeds and shares, and they pay me back. It's like owning stock, but not nearly as secure. I hate to say it, but I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm no longer a registered investment advisor, and I'm not, well, I am technically under supervision of FINRA, but I'm not. Historically speaking, Mindark's done better than the stock market, and that's kind of scary, if you really think about it. Yeah, I said it. Broke my own rule. That's okay. Now, I'm not saying, you know, abandon all of your traditional stuff and dump it into Entropia Universe. No, that would be dumb. But for me, I really like the returns I've gotten on my Entropia account. It has done really well for me, so I'm going to continue working with it. 11 people, thank you so much. Hey guys, if everyone could take a moment, if you haven't done so already, and please just hit the thumbs up for me. It really helps me in the YouTube algorithm. Warspade actually mentioned it on his live stream earlier tonight, which might still be going on actually, that because of the way that I do my channel, the YouTube algorithm works against me. So every like you give really helps me on that algorithm. And also, if you could please consider hitting the share button and sharing it to your social media so that the obscurity I'm fighting becomes less of a fight, it would be greatly appreciated. So yeah, the version update for End of Migration is due at the end of August, from what I understand. This weekend I'm going to be doing a lot of work on the Longtooth Iron Mission, because I want to make sure that I am completely clear by August 28th. August 28th, by hook or by crook, I am going to be doing a Virtueverse live stream. I've got to arrange a party because dungeons are party only, but I think I can convince people to help me. And I'm going to be trying out the new dungeons, and then in October they have their early access 4, and so my channel will be taken over by that for a while, but that's okay. And then of course after that's over we'll be right back to normal business, and I will be on Cyrene as soon as migration's over, or as soon as I finish the Iron Mission. Though I've been having a lot of good luck with this year. Like last year, my luck with loot was crap. I actually abandoned it because my luck with loot was crap. And I think it was just I went after mobs that were too big. I was trying to go after things that would really ramp up my skill set, my skills. So I was going after like level 17, level 18. I can fight something that's level 30 one at a time. I can't. My looter skills are not there yet, so if I do that, it's highly loot inefficient. And that's something I didn't pay attention to when I did it, so I, of course, lost money, and I abandoned migration. Well, that was my mistake. I should have kept at it. The other thing was that Mindark originally, when they instituted the Codex, they stated they were only going to keep the Iron Missions for a month, so I barreled through the Codex, the Iron Mission that I had, got the next one, but didn't attempt it because I thought there was no way in hell I was going to do 30,000 kill points in the week I had left. I'd have to be a professional Entropia Universe player. It just wasn't happening. Which I guess theoretically I am a professional Entropia Universe player right now, but I mean where that's all I have to do for a living, right? Oh, I don't have that luxury. Well then, after migration ended, Mindark realized that what a dumb idea that was, and they said, wait, we're going to give you a year. Which was smart. I just wish I had been able to really key in, because I would have been able to push the Longtooth mission last year, and then finish it this year, and I wouldn't be so hard-pressed to finish it up. So, Red Devil, yes and no? There is no looter skill to mob comparison. It's something you just have to kind of figure out. For me, so I'm fighting level 16s. I'm doing rather well. I think they're considered a resource collecting. Yeah. So I'm level 26 fighting 16s, and I'm breaking even for the most part. So that kind of gives you the idea. I would do it by percentage, not by straight level. So I wouldn't say keep it 10 levels different. I would say, what's the percentage difference between level 26 and level 16? If you give me a minute, I will actually do that calculation for you. Whoops. Calculator. So I'd say you want to be 100, your level needs to be 162% higher than the mob you're hunting. If I had to make a guess. Yes, that's the best bet for Devil. That is absolutely the best bet. Make a note of it, experience it, and just understand that whatever you're hunting, if you're breaking even, then you're at the right level for that mob. Because I think every mob is different. Mindark's really good at making the algorithm really hard to read. Like, they put these arbitrary levels in, but they don't actually match the difficulty of the mob. No, I'm level 45, and I'm a match for a level 16. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But I think they do that to obscure the difficulty because of the way they have to do things, because it's a real cash economy. Do I think it's the right thing to do? No, not necessarily. I think that all players should be able to know when they're up against something that's out of their league. But, you know what? It's their game. It's what they elected to do. And us as players, we've gotten used to it, so it works. Okay, so if you're saying around level 7, 160, probably level 15-ish for your looter skills, level 16, yeah, then that would definitely be the place you want to be. Sorry, that's wrong. Probably level 12. That's my bad. I was thinking incorrectly. Yes, Whispers, they definitely do. But, dying's fine when you're not wearing armor. When you're wearing armor, it causes decay, and players don't like it when they arbitrarily lose decay, although I think we've all become so acclimated to it in this game, we're just like, okay, I died. I'm gonna have to repair myself now. Hey, we got a health increase. And that was an actual health increase. 159 core hit points, which gives me 171 total because of the ring. That's awesome. Oh, by the way, I have a spare angelic ring, which I will be donating to Bonnie's stream. For those of you who, I'm assuming everyone who plays Entropia Universe knows who Bonnie is. She's probably the most prolific Twitch streamer in Entropia Universe. So if you want a chance to win the ring as soon as I can deliver it to her, she's going to have one of her typical contests. Make sure you go to her stream and enter the contest. And I love this ring. I have I actually bought one off the auction house at one point. but increases health by 12 points and increased regeneration by 30%. It doesn't decay. So and Mind Arc has reserved the right to make it decay, but they never have. So I say take the opportunity, go to her stream as soon as I can connect with her, and if I'll try to do that so that I can advertise it for her and for you. And yeah, you'll have the chance to win the angelic ring. Because unfortunately, I prefer YouTube. I really like YouTube. I like the idea of Twitch, but I actually tried setting up a stream on Twitch. I know someone was asking me about it earlier. It's more complicated, and it really benefits from having a team of people. I don't have that, and I don't have the skills necessary to really set it up properly, so I've stuck to YouTube. It also tends to be that in the Twitchverse, they prefer to have a face cam. Well, when I'm playing games, I don't like to have the face cam. I do face cam stuff. I mean, my McBain moments kind of speak for themselves there, but I do not use a face cam when I'm playing Entropia Universe or Fallout or whatever. Whereas Twitch, they kind of what's the word I'm looking for? The culture of Twitch streaming is to have a face cam. And that's not my thing when I'm playing games. So I stick to here. I do. Yeah, Whispers. I know it will decay if you unequip it, but it doesn't decay for use is what I meant. And I think even the ring itself, I think, says it does not decay. Yeah, it does not deteriorate while equipped, but may have a deterioration implemented in a future version update. So it doesn't deteriorate while equipped. All clothing decays when you remove it. But again, it's a token. And why the hell would you remove the ring? You know when I'm gonna remove my ring? I will remove it when I get a better one. And I would love the perfected angelic ring because it gives you a huge benefit. I don't have the money for a perfected angelic ring because it gives you a huge benefit. Maybe when I reach 1 million subscribers and my Patreon has thousands of members, or even 1,000 members, then we can look at that. And we're on the road to 13 million subscribers, but we're at the beginning of the road, because currently we only have 429 subscribers and 3 Manor Socialites. But every Manor Socialite brings us closer to the goal. So go become a Manor Socialite at patreon.com/JulianMcBain. Who is here? Shout out to Buster. First circle of German survival artists. You know, I have to admit, the reason I play this game so much is because of just how chill it is. Like, currently I'm hands-free. But it's one step above an idle game, like those AFK games that you see on mobile now. Because you still have to be actively participating. But you don't have to be like, it's not like WoW where you have to be playing your keyboard like a piano all the time, right? Although, well, she's my ex now, unfortunately, but I was given a Naga mouse, and let me tell you, playing World of Warcraft, and I haven't done it in a while because Blizzard kind of pissed me off, but playing World of Warcraft with a Naga, or any MMO with a Naga, where they call it face roll on the keyboard, instead you just roll your thumb. So much, it's like playing PC. It's all the advantages of console on a PC. 100%. Whispers, remind me what the Ares ring does. Or actually, if you're in game, drop me a friend request if you haven't already, and then PM it to me so that I can show it to everyone. I don't know if you're watching this on a second screen or on a second computer. Because I remember seeing the Ares ring, but I don't remember what stats it increases. And I believe it's the opposite finger to an angelic ring. Did you? Maybe you're on my... Whispers, what is your in-game name? Oh, reload speed, okay. Yeah, that would make your recycle really fast. That's all Whispers. I'm not seeing your friend request. I'm not seeing your name in here, and I didn't see your friend request. So let's do this. We're going to do that. Come on. There, I just sent one to you, Whispers. Oh, that'd be really nice. 14% additional crit damage? Are you kidding me? The increased speed would definitely make it so you can cut down mobs faster, and then you throw the increased crit chance on top of that? Oh, that's beautiful. Awesome. And there you are. Oh, you're on Cyrene. Excellent. Home sweet home. Well, technically I'm from Calypso, but I fell in love with Cyrene and I've called it home for a while, even though I only spend a month there a year. I've actually written some fiction about Cyrene on my website, mcbainmanor.com. I love the whole idea of the Tyrellians and the Dusters, and I keep an entire set of Tyrellian armor for a reason. I love this armor set. I wish we had transmog in this game, Because I'm here to tell you, I'd be looking like a Tyrellian all the fucking time. I would love to do a complete mock-up of this for like Wasteland Weekend. I mean, just look at the hell in the head. I would rock this at a Wasteland Weekend. Are you kidding me? And then the way they have the wrap. Yeah, Sirene's loot table is friggin' amazing. Oh, we're almost at 2 million. Let's convert that. Hi, Rylus. Success. You were successful. If you're watching, go ahead and pop into the chat and let us know which one of the lurkers you are. So yeah, the loot table on Cyrene is, it's either the best or the second best in the game. 100%. Oh yeah, he's lurking. And I think it's just because of the way that they set things up. But your returns on Cyrene are just so much better. I can't wait to get back and hunt Men Shen. Now that my looter skill is up, I think we're going to clean house. I really do. I'm looking forward to the first stream there. I bet you we get... I'm aiming for another 5 global stream there. I am. Not going to lie. Scotty, that's you? No shit! I never put 2 and 2 together. I feel kind of dumb now because, you know, I could just pay better attention to your channel, and I'd know exactly who it was. For those of you who don't know, Scotty C93 is another YouTuber. And, he's got a really good channel. He does. You should go check him out. Yeah, passed me in subs. Which honestly probably means that he's Whoa, hello. He definitely uses the algorithm better than I do. But no, his content's really good. He puts out some really good content, so go check him out. Scotty_C93. Go check out his channel. And Scotty and I still have a debate going on whether Australia or America have more scary fauna. And I think that the balance has been struck, whereas Australia has more venomous fauna, North America has more large fauna. Like, Oz has spiders that are the size of dinner plates and rats that are the size of dogs. You know, that sort of thing. But they don't have danger floofs, if you know what I'm saying. You know, we have cats here that are the size of, well, big cats. Game Citizen, I just added you. I don't know if you're in the stream, but welcome. We do have Murder Hornets now. We do. Actually, I think the Murder Hornets got wiped out because they stopped being news. Although, I guess in the States these days, that's not really a huge deal if it stopped being news. It just means that people don't care anymore. But we did have an invasion of Asian giant hornets. And from what I understand, they have been contained. But for those of you who are not familiar with Asian giant hornets, I actually wrote a book where Asian giant hornets were the basis for one of the evils, the antagonist groups. Machina Vespa. But they're think of, I mean, y'all know what a hornet's like, right? You get the paper nest, and they're painful, and they're aggressive, and they're mean. We call them flying assholes. Well, now imagine that this flying asshole is bigger than your thumb. And twice as aggressive. And didn't give one single predatory shit. Murder hornets. But thankfully in Vermont we do not have murder hornets, we just have asshole hornets. And about every day I've got to let one out of the house or kill it. If I'm in a position to let it out, I'll let it out, because there's a lot of benefits to hornets. They are pollinators. They also are pest removers, because for those of you who don't know, a lot of your hornets and yellow jackets are actually predators. And they eat grubs that would otherwise eat your plants. So they're good for agriculture. They hunt aphids. They also hunt spiders. So they help balance out that whole thing, because like spiders are extremely prevalent where I am, which is why we don't have so many mosquitoes, but it's almost to the point where the spiders are kind of overtaking everything. Well, the wasps help to overcome that. That being said, I don't need a wasp the size of my thumb to deal with the spider problem. And they have a tendency to prey on bees. I like bees. Baby crabs. That's an interesting dream. Although whenever I think of baby crabs now, I always see the video in my mind. I was watching some sort of... It was on Facebook, I think. It came from like the BBC or Discovery or something. But it was a mother crab whose young were hatching, and she was feasting on them. Like, she's sitting there eating her babies as they hatch. It's like, okay, wow. Huh. Hey Bill, good to see ya. Glad to see you made it. Crustaceans, man, they're scary. Kinda surprised we haven't accidentally run into old Fred this entire time. Watch him spawn right behind me, because that's my friggin' luck. Like, I found old Fred flying around, but he hasn't just, like, spawned. Because old Fred sneezes and I would die. Quickly. Bill, I think you have an echo. Echo. Probably just double posted. Okay. I'm going to pull a long tooth and I'm going to take a 5er. It's Friday, so of course this is generally a longer stream. I just want to make sure that my sword's not going to run out before I... Oh. Ha. No, we will you know what? We're going to stand here. I should be okay. How's my amp doing? My amp's doing fine. I'm going to take like a 3-minute break and I will be right back. Thanks for your patience, guys. I am back. Whoa. Oh, I thought I lost sound for a second there. Yeah, the branching out from EU content is often necessary. If for nothing else, just to be able to try things out. Don't get me wrong, I love doing EU videos. This will always be my core content. Even when Virtueverse comes out, into the beta where it's, you know, the real cash economy is implemented, EU is likely to be my primary bread and butter. But it's good to have that variety. You know, I kinda hate to admit it, but I play Minecraft as well. I currently have a build going on, and I've considered doing. Oh, it was when did I get that? I totally missed that. Probably because it wasn't a swirly. I'm doing a build right now where I've got 2 towers, and the towers are connected underground, and then from one of the towers is a bridge to a cliff. I'm going to build into the cliff, or into another cliff. I'm going to build onto cliffs and stuff like that. I've got this whole mountainside village thing that I've kind of thought up, and it's all in creative because it's a build, not a, like, you know, I'm not playing it to survive. I'm just doing a build. But I think that the whole idea of digital Legos, Minecraft nailed it. You branch out from EU content, but you don't make any. It's not hard to do, Whispers. You download OBS, you get yourself a headset, which I'm sure you probably already have, and you just chat. You know, you talk about what you like about EU, what you don't like about EU. You know, you could do a more serial Overdrive-esque thing where you talk about specific things in the game, or you could do what I do and just. Well, I guess mine's kind of a different tack, because a lot of my EU videos have nothing to do with the EU. I'm playing the game while telling people to get their shit together. But I've done a lot of guide videos too. Not as many as Serial Overdrive has, but I've done some. Or talk about life skills. You could talk about, you know, you just have to have topics to talk about. EU is a really nice place to start, like a YouTube channel or a Twitch stream. Hey Vast, good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, Lego's in a sandbox. You can't beat it in a lot of ways. Now I know if I wanted to like barrel through and have like 1 million viewers, I could start a secondary channel and just do Minecraft. And I'd probably be partnered overnight because that game is stupid popular to this day. I don't do that because that's not my core audience. You know, you guys are my core audience. But I gotta say, I do enjoy Minecraft from time to time. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of those games where if you get into it and you get into a project, you can lose hours of your life. It's like, oh, I started this project at, you know, 7. I finished building the building and it's 1 a.m. What happened? It's like playing Final Fantasy. The Longtooth are going well. We've only gotten 1 global tonight. Not gonna complain too hard. My last stream we got 5. So, you know, there's that. But no, I'm 8,500 points-ish off from finishing my last Iron mission. I've got other Iron missions that I could do, but I haven't bothered with them. I did not want to spend the whole year on Calypso, because if I wanted to finish all my Iron missions, I mean, we're talking Argos, we're talking Aatrox, Combibos, Cornunda Kudas, yeah, that word there. You try pronouncing that. Drones. Phoefoids. Oh, I didn't know that the agility tokens were there. Well, Phoefox, which I think I actually got by accident. Longtooth, which is what I'm doing. These guys that I never even got 1 point on because they're frickin' difficult. Shinkaba, Daikaba. Which I did not realize I got to level 4. And Snark Snots, which are just annoying. Whoops. Dude, come on. Sure, you didn't mean flex this and look how good you are, Scotty. Sure, you didn't mean that. What is DaVinci Resolve? Is that an editing software? Because my editing skills are 0. Like, I can barely use Windows Movie Maker. There we go. Windows Movie Maker to splice videos together with jump cuts. Which is why I don't do it. This is why I post raw content. Because my editing skills are 0. You know, I can barely make thumbnails for Christ's sake, okay? I use Paint to make my thumbnails, and everyone tells me to use GIMP, and I really need to learn how to use GIMP. I have not taken the time to learn how to use GIMP, and currently I don't have the time to learn how to use GIMP, because concurrently, here are all the projects I'm doing. This is not me. I'm not complaining, and I'm not making excuses. It's an explanation. I understand that I need to make the time to eventually figure this shit out, but I work a 9 to 5, 40 to 45 hours a week. That's standard for everyone. That's not a bitch, that's just everyday life. I put approximately 9 hours into this channel every week. Single father. I have to do normal housework, yard maintenance, splitting wood for the winter, that sort of thing. And I'm running a political campaign of one person. If I lose the campaign, I will figure out GIMP this winter. And then try to explain the term GIMP to anyone who's not in the know. Think about the word in its context. It's like, yeah, I need to figure out GIMP. Think about that for a second, okay? Congrats, Vast. That's fantastic. It's one sub at a time, man. That's why we're on the road to 13 million, one subscriber at a time. I know what GIMP means in this context. It doesn't mean other people will know what GIMP means in this context. I'm kind of surprised the logo isn't a person in a mask, if you catch my drift. I got in the zone just in time. I got some protection. I always said I didn't have to pay protection. Wah wah. Oh yeah, and on top of all that, I'm working on putting together a curriculum for HEMA certification. So for those of you who are not familiar with fencing, HEMA, which is the Historical Historical European Martial Arts Alliance is a group of is an association of clubs and individuals who do historical fencing, which is what I do. I've been a member for like 4 years. Pretty sure that my membership is still active. I need to probably check that. But they have a whole instructor certification program where you have to come up with a curriculum. It has to be certified. You spar, you prove that you actually know what the fuck you're doing, and you show them how you teach. And so I'm actually working on that curriculum right now to get that certification. I'm hoping to finish it and be ready to go sometime in early to mid 2021. But that's another thing I'm working on. Hey, Linux is awesome. I really wish that Linux had more things that were compatible with it. If Linux had as much if Linux was as prolific in the gaming community as Windows, I would have Linux straight across. I love Linux. It's just that in order to play any games, you gotta run wine, and it's inefficient. You end up using more processing power for the same amount, and the fact that Windows is bloated kind of becomes a non-issue when you're dealing with something that, because of wine, is going to be bloated anyway. Yes, fencers do go stabby stabby, but old school. Hey, all my fencers in the chat, give a shout out here. I know Kat's in here, I know Captain Aubrey's in here. Jay, are you still around? Fast, no, you're right, not necessarily. There are some things that are directly compatible with Linux, but they're not large in number relative to everything else. And like, EU is my primary game. I run EU in Wine. It actually runs relatively well. Now, admittedly, I run it on a Chromebook. The Chromebook version of Wine is not necessarily going to run as well as the Linux version of Wine. And to make it worse, the Chromebook version of Wine didn't have a graphics card that would really work very well with CryEngine. It was the results were hilarious. If I could have run OBS on that, I totally would have done a video just to show you how awful it looked. Scotty, I swear, if you're ever in the New England area of the States, you and I have got to get together. We'll throw axes at, we call them beaver cookies, but they're wooden rounds. You know, we'll throw axes at a board, we'll chat, we'll have drinks, it'll be awesome. I'll introduce you to all my friends. I think you'd have a great time. Unfortunately, I don't box, but I think you and I could figure out a martial art the two of us could compete in. I'm not opposed to boxing. But, I would probably have to do some acclimation. I know what we could do. We could do axe catching. No, I didn't say axe throwing. I said axe catching. For any of you that want to know what axe catching is, go look up the Viking Home Companion. I said that correctly. And listen to all of their audio. Friggin' hilarious. Ooh, Huckleberry Shine. Yes. Moonshine is almost as good as Scotch. Like, I'm not big on corn. I don't like bourbon. And moonshine is generally a form of bourbon. But it's so much better than professional bourbons. I love moonshine. Yes. There we go, Scotty. That's what we should do. Entropia Con. That's what we need to. We need to, like, grab the devs, all of the devs for the Planet Partners and shit, and just have, like, an Entropia Con. Honestly, if there was an Entropia convention, I would go out of my way to attend it. I totally would. Doesn't matter if it's in the States or not. I would get my passport. I actually have never gotten a passport. 36 years old, never had a passport, lived on the border my whole life. I have never lived in a U.S. state that has not been on the Canadian border. Like, no shit. I would totally go out of my way to get to an EU convention. Absolutely 100%. And I mean, you're talking to a Trekkie who has never been to a Trek convention, okay? Never been to a Trek convention. I have done the digital pass to BlizzCon, but I've never been to BlizzCon. But 100%, if an EU convention happened, I would be there. I would find a way. I would spend years to get there. I think Serial's out of Boston now. And I don't know about you, Vass, but have you checked NYC lately? It's kind of abandoned. I'm not sure I'd want to do it. Albany? Okay, cool. Saratoga? I'm good with that. Shit, I go down to Washington, D.C. It's not that long a drive. It's only like, what, 20 hours? Whatever. It's 2 days. New York? No. Okay. Scotty, you could totally do like the vacuum plastic like they do for Stormtrooper armor for the 501st Legion. I'm willing to bet if you talk to the 501st Legion, they give you all the skills you need to make ghost armor. Every Entropian would buy that shit, hands down. Oh, did he say he's back in Boston? That's awesome. So I've been to DC. I like DC. It's been 15 years since I've been to DC, but I have been to DC. I've only ever driven through New York. I've never stopped in New York City. I've stayed in like Saratoga Springs. Saratoga Springs, Ballston Spa, that whole area. If you take out the roundabouts, it's probably the best part of New York I've ever visited. I'm not huge on New York. Like the state. Albany's not bad. Buffalo is actually pretty cool. I see 0 point in going to New York City. And I mean, there are multiple reasons I'm not a huge fan of New York City. Part of it's the traffic. Part of it's the fact that I know it's faster on foot than in a car. Part of it's because it's of how it's run. But there's just it's just so congested. I mean, yeah, you have all the resources, but trying to get there is such a pain in the ass, and it's so expensive. A hotel room you could get for $100 in upstate New York would cost you $500 in New York City. It just doesn't make sense. So why not do it like in Saratoga or in Albany or in Schenectady, God forbid. Sorry, I had to say that. I had a classmate that was from Schenectady and he was super proud of being from Schenectady, so we all joked about bombing the place because it was a flight school, so we're like, yeah, we're gonna like put bombs on our Cessna just to bomb the Schenectady airfield just because. Oh, I see how it is, Whispers. You want to collab with Scotty, but not me. That's fine. Harumph. Harumph, I say. Yeah, Jay, that's true. You can't have anything fun. This is why I live in Vermont. Oh, Whispers. New England, man. You gotta visit the tri-state area. By that I mean Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, not, you know, the classical tri-state area. So yeah, I would love to get my place on Monria. Apparently, a Monrian apartments go for like $200. So when my stream supports my Entropia addiction, then I'll look at an apartment. As much as I would like to dump the money into it to get that apartment, I'm sorry, I don't have it. Let's down another pill. Oh, Jay. Sword canes, are you kidding me? We have no weapons laws in Vermont. Except for magazine laws that are being currently challenged in court. None. Okay, we're allowed to have switchblades in Vermont if they're under 4 inches. Hey, 1-2. Game Citizen, thank you so much for coming, and thank you so much for being a backer. I really appreciate it. So, Jay, yes, you can have sword canes. In fact, I've got a sword cane sitting about 2 feet from me. Like, no joke, my ex-in-laws gave it to me after the divorce. Need to stipulate that my ex father and mother-in-law gave me a sword cane after the divorce. And yeah, no, I could totally walk down the street with this thing. No one would care. And if I pulled it out, like if a cop stopped me, I just have to say, hey, look, there's a blade in the cane. And the cops would be like, okay, cool, don't pull it out. That's it. You know what, Whispers, there's nothing wrong with the Eclipse of Boonies. Kinda wish there was a place to live out here. Because this seriously is the Boonies. And I love every second of it. It reminds me of the Badlands. I miss the Badlands. I love the Badlands. The only thing with the Badlands is there were no trees. I was raised here in Vermont, and as much as I love the Midwest, and I do love the Midwest, I love the people, I love the culture. The Midwest of the United States is an awesome place. But there were no mountains. They weren't my mountains and they weren't my trees. Vermont is my mountains. Vermont is my trees. Damn it. And then Calypso, these aren't my chickens! Yes, Corinth has houses by the beach. In fact, they have two sets. You have this set here, which is the beach estates, and then you have the west estates, which is also a set of beach houses. A lot of the beach houses on the west estates have not been sold by Mindark yet. And they aren't willing to sell them yet, which kind of irritates me because I would totally, like, if one of those beach houses became available, I'd find a way. You know what I'm saying? But nope, they won't allow it yet. I have considered putting the money aside for an apartment in game. I'm coming closer to actually using the savings I have to picking one up, which of course would not be I'm frugal, so I can do that. I have the money set aside, but I want it to be the right one. I don't want to I'm not huge on the idea of spending $200 US on an in-game apartment that you have to pay maintenance fees on, but there's something about having the apartment that really keys into being part of Entropia universe, if that makes sense. Vass, is that Baron from the Entropia Discord? Yeah, Marcus Calendar, I think, is the I think he's the estate person here on Calypso. My long-term goal, I totally want to pick up enough CLDs to buy land at like Southern Ithaca or here at Levis Heights. You can buy one of the big plots. You can put a house on it. Just either that or there are a couple castles around here. I swear to God, if one of those castles comes up for sale, I will sell my goddamn soul. Thanks, Boomstick. I'm doing my best. We're working on it. Part of it's probably because I've gotten closer to the mic over time tonight. Yeah, it's probably overbearing just a little bit. Let me turn it down. That should be better, because I'm lowering the maximum I have an extremely projective voice, because my Sergeant Major taught me how to have an extremely projective voice. And that's never really left me. Yeah, I know Marcus Calendar is technically an NPC. There is actually a Marcus Calendar is an NPC who is played by a Calypso, or not a Calypso dev, but a Mindark dev, who handles all of the real estate that has not been sold yet. So there is a human behind Marcus Calendar, but oh, are we talking like, is my game volume too high? Let me know if that's better. How's that? Okay, so I'm currently at 40 decibels. Or I should say negative 40 decibels. I don't know how this... OBS is not overly conducive to making this work very easily. So tell me how this is now and then we'll figure it out. Hopefully by, you know, the next stream or two, we'll figure out the whole mic differences thing. How's that? Okay, voice volume is better. And I've turned down the game audio. Let me know if you can't hear the game, because I need to make sure it's at least hearable. Understanding that there isn't a huge amount to hear. But keep in mind I also do Fallout 76, so I need to make sure that in-game dialogue for that game is okay. Okay. Perfect. You know, I gotta say, I really appreciate my community for really keying in on things like mic volume issues, game volume issues, and letting me know. Because some people wouldn't care and they just like not watch, or they'd bitch about it and not let me know. So thank you. You know, I've never used a plasma gun. Actually, I think the only game I've ever used plasma guns in is Warhammer 40k. Which is hilarious because I avoided plasma guns for a long time, because if you roll a 1, they get hot and kill the player that's the model that's using them. They get an armor save, but I always found that funny. Which is ironic because the plasma guns get hot and can burn the character using them. But melta guns, which literally spew out fusion heat at your enemy, they're anti-tank weapons. Don't get hot. Never figured that out. Invest, yes, there was only one person complaining, but the person complaining was Dr. Boomstick. Dr. Boomstick is someone that I work with regularly, and so I will take his opinions very seriously. That makes a lot of sense, and that would explain why I haven't used them very much. I don't do a whole lot of EU PvP because it's largely a money sink. But every once in a while, I'll take some time and do some EU PvP, or Warspade will show up and start attacking me, and I'll attack him back. I'm a fan of PvP, generally speaking, in any game. But it's one of those things where, like, in EU, I don't do a whole lot of PvP because it's just wasting money, right? You're not actually getting anything back on it. When I played Virtueverse, I did a whole bunch of PvP in the arena. I do PvP in Fallout where I can. I lose a lot, but it doesn't mean it's not fun. I played Call of Duty for a while. I do PvP in Minecraft even, much to my son's chagrin from time to time. He's better than me at it, but he hates the fact that I do PvP with him. Figure that shit out. But, and I think it's because he goes in and all of a sudden I'll hit him and then he'll hit me back, and we're usually playing on his servers and he always has better equipment than me, but at the same time it's a thing, right? But I would love to do more space PvP, Vast. It's just a matter of the fact that every shot is 40 pack. And you get nothing back for it if they're not a pirate. Or if you're not a pirate. And I'm not a pirate, because if I was a pirate, I really couldn't be a streamer. I guess I could do a whole piracy stream. But you're talking about a lot of waiting. Because they hang out, and they just lay in wait, and they just watch. Yes, Minecraft has a very hardcore PvP community. Extremely hardcore. I don't really get into that group. My son and I do play against each other. We play with each other, we play against each other. Global 62.74 pad. Excellent. We also get into Gary's mod and we PvP each other. Which sometimes he'll mess around with me. So he's 12. So he'll mess with me. But then I'll really come into my swing and I'll just start sniping him from places, and he's like, why? And I'm like, 'cause you started it. Okay, no, Vash, you have a good point. There is entertainment value to PvP. That is fair. From a monetary perspective, you don't get a return on investment. Now, I think you still get skills. So, like, your captain, for space PvP, your captain skill would go, your captain profession would go up. I do think you still get skills. But you don't get loot unless you're a pirate, so... And you know what, Bill? That is the best attitude to have. Largely speaking, that's pretty much what I do. I won't drop that much to do it, though. But I don't make as much as a truck driver does. I work in insurance. Which everyone seems to think is good money. Not really. Not for most of us. Vast, I kind of agree with you, but it depends on the person you're fighting. And piracy, from a general perspective, most of the pirates will respect you if you fire back. I have learned that. And I always fire back. Even when I can't hit them. I will say I've had a couple of situations where I'll try to hit a pirate back and I can't. And I think it's because of lag. I'm firing into a place where it looks like I should be attacking them, but they've already moved out of the way, so it just looks like they've been shielded. Which is kind of a pain in the ass, but it's a thing. It's a thing. But yeah. Yes, fighting in space is a lot like fencing. Red Devil, thank you so much for showing up tonight. Thank you so much for staying as long as you did. We'll be wrapping up here in 15 minutes, so you're not going to miss much. We'll catch you on the flip side, man. Looking forward to Tuesday. For those of you who don't know yet, Tuesday, before my stream, and it might cut into the stream, so I'm going to apologize in advance if it does. I don't think it's going to go that way, but I'm actually doing an interview with JD Green on the Aired Out podcast. It's at Aired Out on Facebook. Fantastic guy. He's been a family friend for a long time. He's my cousin's best friend, which I discovered actually after I moved back from North Dakota. He's a local to me radio personality, and now he runs a podcast on Facebook. I'll be talking with him starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time, so East Coast USA, and for as long as it takes on Tuesday next, which is normally a streaming day. If it runs past 9, I'm not going to stop it. If it doesn't run past 9, I will be right here like I normally am. But go check it out at Aired Out on Facebook, and you'll see me there. Oh yeah, Boomstick, it's Friday. You should go see your mama so she can finally kill you. For those of you who have never seen it, you need to go check out Boomstick's channel. And then you need to check out Boomstick's, he trolled his mom. He did a prank call on his mom. Friggin' hilarious. I showed it to Cat Spoonbreaker and Captain Aubrey this past weekend, and they were laughing. So, take the opportunity to check it out. It's freaking hilarious. So I'm told there's an echo. Has anyone else heard an echo? Okay, I see what she's talking about. No. That was not my mic. That was something different. I figured it out. Sorry about that. That was on my end. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we got about 10 minutes left in tonight's stream, because I'm running till 11, local time. Hoping to get these last 100 points through. Every mob's about 9 points. Less the Berrycled, because Berrycled. Have a good night, Vast. Thank you for joining us. Yeah, I know it's getting late. We're going to run the next 9 minutes. We're going to pop it up to 22,000 long tooth kill points, or, you know, within the margin of error, because it's like 8 or 9 points per long tooth. Seven points per long tooth. I gotta say, it's been a good night. It has absolutely been a good evening. And I have y'all to thank for it. I think I have one of the best communities in gaming, but also in Entropia universe. Hands down. I really appreciate everyone who comes to watch my streams, that watches my channel. You make this 100% worth it. Thank you so much for joining us. For joining me, personally. Because, yeah. Team of one. But realistically, all of you are part of that team. Because by coming to my channel, by watching my content, by being a member on Patreon, you really have created a space for that team. And I really appreciate all of you that, you know, all the support that you give, so thank you. You know, Whispers, you have a good point. So far, we have made it through the whole stream with no real food talk. You know what? Once in a while, we need that change of pace. I'm sure we will return to foodie talk on the next one. Assuming that Tuesday is where that will happen. If it doesn't happen, then it will definitely be next Friday. There we go. Bill talked about food. He's making taco salad. Boom said, I don't understand the whole Taco Bell being a hell thing. I like Taco Bell. If you eat chalupas, you don't have any problems. I don't know what y'all are eating there. Chalupas, man, chalupas. It's all it takes. I freaking love chalupas. And of course, now I live in an area we don't have a Taco Bell. When I lived in the Midwest, Taco Bell. When I lived in New Hampshire, Taco Bell. I live in Vermont, no Taco Bell. Kind of pisses me off. Oh, Bill, there's plenty of food on the road. You just gotta visit the Flying J's. Come on, man. I know better than that. I've ridden the roads. I wasn't in the driver's seat, but I've even been in the tractor-trailer trucks. I've been on trailer trucks on the open road. I've been in... So, for those of you who don't know, a lot of trailer truck drivers will call regular vehicles four-wheelers. I've been in four-wheelers on the open road. You visit a Flying J's, you find good food. See, Whispers, it's your fault. You mentioned food to a bunch of foodies. That's just the way it is. Bill, the next time you go through, so you're running from Idaho to Florida, you gotta visit St. Cloud, Minnesota. Best truck stop on the planet, bar none. They have donuts that are like 8 inches in diameter. I wish I was joking about that, like no shit. 6-inch at the base scones. The restaurant's fantastic. Like, find an excuse to go to the truck stop in St. Cloud, Minnesota. I'm dead serious. It's not a Flying J's, but it beats Flying J's by a long shot. So, there you go. I think you're right. It's been a hot minute since I've been there, but best truck stop ever. It's got a restaurant, it's got the bakery. Like, hands down. Every time I went to Minneapolis, St. Paul when I lived in Bismarck, we stopped at that stop. Like, period. We go out of our way to go there just to pick shit up. Wolf of cinnamon bread. You toast that, you put some butter on it. Best breakfast ever. Mega Motor, please keep politics out of my stream. Thank you. I know, it's ironic for me to say that as a political candidate, but seriously, that's not the point of this. You know, I talk politics, go to my political page, keep this political, politics free. Again, Mega Motor, I am asking you keep politics out of my stream. Yes, I'm aware of that. It's something that I'm dealing with. And I am asking you to not talk about politics in my stream. Because, if you don't, I will remove you. That is a hard rule. No politics, no religion. I am very firm on that rule in this stream. 2 warnings is all you get. Okay, y'all. It's 11. I am going to turn in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, 1 subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. And then please consider going over to patreon.com/JulianMcBain if you want to support my work. If you do, you get the Modern Entropian and Personal Finance for Gamers. Okay, everyone. I really appreciate your support. We will see you in the next one. This has been amazing. And Tuesday, you can find me on the Aired Out podcast, where I will be talking politics. And you can find me here on my live stream. Have a wonderful night, everyone.